Alright guys, Jay at Broader Performance here. Alright, gotta talk about trucking companies and truck shipments. If you're familiar with this channel, you already know how I feel about trucking companies and truck shipments. Alright, so we're having to get cores from customers now a lot of the time. So what we do, if you take it to the trucking company yourself and you don't have an account, they're going to tell you it's like $1,000 or more to ship it. So it's crazy. But so you don't want to do that unless, of course, you have an account with a trucking company or from your work or something. If you guys can get a better price than I can, fantastic. We don't make money on shipping, and I'm more than happy to be cut out of the shipping loop. So let me say that. Now, what happens is we will email you, and I apologize for the cutouts, just trying to privacy things here, but we're going to email you this. It's what's called a bill of lading. And one thing you want to make sure, I don't know if you can see, but there's a box here for freight collect. You want to make sure that that is checked, and that means they charge us for the freight, because again, if they charge you, you don't have an account, so it's going to be $1,000 or some crazy number. So you got to be careful with that. So what we do is, it can only be picked up from a commercial address. Now, what is a commercial address? That's not a home-based business. This is another thing. These trucking companies are getting real strict on stuff, and it's really getting frustrating. But I know a lot of times customers say, oh yeah, my buddy's got a business. But it's a deal where, he's got a shop at his house or a business from his house, and that's not going to work. It's got to be basically in a commercial area where there's a lot of businesses, and if the trucking company sees a house, they're going to call it residential. They may not pick up from it, or maybe they will, but then they're going to surcharge on us. So we got to be careful with the location, and if you need help with that, I can help you. But here's what's going on. So that's if you're sending something to us, what you got to know there. The other thing that you have to know is if you're receiving something from us, all the time the trucking companies are trying to get more money from you. And, we've been eating this, excuse me, we've been eating this for a long time, and we're not going to do it anymore. We just can't. And, I could, if I was a smart man, I would mock up everybody's shipping cost to cover this. But there's a few reasons I'm not going to do that. Number one, if your shipment goes smoothly, why should you be surcharged on it? And number two, you have people that pick things up and, stuff like that. I'm not building that into the price. That's not fair either. I had another point, but I forgot. Anyways, so what happened? What the latest thing they're doing is your shipment will come in. The driver puts it on the lift gate of the truck, whether you asked him to or not. You may be fully capable of unloading it, whether you've got a forklift or a tractor or a couple of strong friends. Whatever it is, you may be more than capable of unloading it. But what's going on is these drivers, sometimes, and it's happened here to me, before I even get out of the building, I see the thing on the lift gate. Stop them. Because that's a $94 surcharge to put it on that lift gate. And if you need the lift gate and you've paid for the lift gate, that's a different story. But if you don't need the lift gate and you don't want to pay $94, don't let them put it on the lift gate. Stop them. But this is what they're trying to do. They will immediately put it on the lift gate without asking you. Not all drivers, of course, but a lot of them are doing this. And then they're going to back charge us the $94. Well, this is now your responsibility to make sure this doesn't happen. If they back charge us for it, I have to bill you for it. And if you don't pay, I'm voiding your warranty. You know, that's it. You know, we're not going to accept this anymore. So I'm making you guys aware of what's going on. You have the information. Don't let them do this. We're going to be real careful about the locations. You know, another thing they surcharge on is if it goes to a school, that's what they call limited access. That basically costs as much as a residential. So if you're going to go to a school, you may as well just have it shipped to your house. It's the same damn money. Except the liftgate thing might be, you know, might come into play there. The other thing is military bases. Because the trucking companies are so patriotic, they screw the military bases and they surcharge them. Just kind of a thank you for being a veteran. So they do that. So know that if we're sending to a military base, they're going to basically, it's going to cost as much as a residential. So that doesn't really help unless, you know, just deal, well, we got a forklift here and we won't have to pay for the liftgate fee. That would be the only advantage to those two locations. So I want to make you guys aware of that. We've been checking everything that comes in and goes out. We've been trying to verify ourselves whether it's going to be considered a residential or not. You know, we've had issues where it's a business, but it's so far off the beaten path. It's in the middle of nowhere. They're going to call that limited access. Basically the same as residential, money-wise. Here's another thing they charge for. If, say, you're like me, these days I have to have what's called notification. Okay, so basically I need to know when they're coming out. I need to know what day, roughly what time, just to make sure I don't miss them. If you miss them, if they try to deliver it, and whatever, you guys, it was a Friday, you guys were out on a power lunch or something, whatever, you know, somebody's birthday at work, and you guys went off to lunch and closed the shop for an hour, and my truck shipment happens to get there in that time, and they have to come and re-deliver it, they're going to surcharge me for that. I have to, in turn, get that money from you. And I know, you know, once our transaction's done and I come back, and it usually takes them about 4 weeks to bill me for this. So I might come after you a month later and say, hey, it looks like they had to do a redelivery or a liftgate, whatever it is, or an arrival notification, and I'm sorry, guys, I got a surcharge for it. And if you're not going to pay me, you know, I'm going to void your warranty. I got to do something. So pay me. You know, I'm not trying to make money on this. I'm not doing what they're doing. I'm not giving you a price and then trying to later on find a way to finagle more money out of you. Trust me, I don't like to do business that way. I don't like to be done that way. But that's what these trucking companies are doing. And it's not just the one that we use. Now, honestly, we use a few different ones, but it seems to be pretty much all of them. If you happen to know of a trucking company with high integrity, let me know. Well, I might switch over to them. But everyone I've used, they're doing this stuff now, and it's very frustrating. And these are just things you need to know. So, and you know, we've been absorbing it for years. We fight with it. The particular sales gal that we have right now on the place that we use the most, she's not real helpful to us. So I don't ever get out of paying it. You know, no matter how much time I waste trying to fight it. So I've got to pass it on to you if it happens, but I'm going to educate you so hopefully it doesn't happen. And that's the goal here. So, okay, guys, I know this is kind of a, you know, me hating on the trucking company's video, but I really need to pass this info on to you as the customer so you know what's going on and you know how to handle this. And we just got to be real careful with these people because they're just always finding ways to add money to the price. I wish it wasn't this way, but I have to let you know, and we have to be more strict on it. I'm sorry, you know, I don't mean to be like that, but we can't just keep absorbing it. And these shipping costs are going up all the time too, and it's just getting out of control. So let's work together and let's fight this and get the best deal we can. So I will, you know, any change to this, I'll keep you updated, and we're always fighting for you. Best price we can get, you know, we really are. So, okay, guys, thanks for watching this nonsense, and hopefully we'll be shipping something to you.